What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a concept that is tough for a lot of folks to get your heads around, and so I'm going to try to help. And I don't know, it might not matter for a lot of you, but we're going to talk about the idea of boutique stuff, boutique products, boutique pickups, boutique amps, boutique guitars, all that kind of stuff. Is it just hype? Is it a thing? Does it matter? Why does it matter? And why does it even exist? Why do we spend extra money on stuff that might actually do the same exact thing? When you look at a wall of guitars, right? When you just look up at a bunch of guitars here, we've got a PRS, we've got a Squier, we've got another PRS, we've got a Schecter, we got a Gibson, we got a Telecaster, right? And then we've got this custom one-off thing over here on the end. That's pretty cool. All those guitars are great, right? They're great guitars. But they're not like necessarily, well, that one on the end is, not necessarily boutique guitars. What is the deal with that? When we come over here to this side, I've got a couple of other interesting ones. We've got a McPherson here. Wouldn't necessarily call this a boutique guitar. Maybe, I don't know. They don't make very many of them. They're kind of hard to find. And then these two guitars are Texas Toast guitars that are made very, very limited, right? Those are actually each one of one. There's no other guitars like each of those. They're one-offs, like complete custom. And the same thing here. This is our new model that just hit the website last week. Super, super custom. There's only one. And there will ever only be one of this actual guitar, and then we'll make some other production ones. Pretty cool. They're available on the website. And then it's the same thing with pickups, right? You can go buy, I don't know, some $25, $30 pickups from somewhere and put them in, and they do pickup things, right? And then you go to our website and you pay what you pay for those, and you get them, and they're awesome. You get a new Gibson. That Gibson right there's got stock pickups in it, and it sounds fantastic. It's not just guitars, right? It's everything else. I'm into a couple other hobbies, and you can go from, I don't know, this couple dollar Bic. No, this is not a Bic. This is a Pilot G2. Actually, a really good pen, but only a couple of bucks, to a fountain pen that is a production model that you can get from a factory in Japan, and it's a premium product. It's not inexpensive, and it's very, very cool. It's got a gold nib on it, and it does a thing, but it still just does pen things. It just writes. So why? And then you can go directly to the next level, which is, this is actually handmade by an artisan. Actually doesn't live very far from me. It's probably one of one because of the way the resin was poured. And so there you go. And it's the same thing like with pocket knives. This is my very first pocket knife. Just a cheap $25 made in China deal. But it's worn out. It's awesome. It's got a bunch of miles on it. It's my very first pocket knife from a long, long time ago, and I use it and I keep it, and it's great. But it cuts. It opens packages. It does whatever. Then you go to the next level and you go to something premium, like this would be like the Fender Stratocaster American of pocket knives. It's just a Benchmade bug out there everywhere. But it's not inexpensive, but it's sort of ubiquitous. They're just kind of everywhere. It's awesome. It's a premium product, but it's, 180 bucks. It still does the exact same thing that this knife does. So why? Well, there are technical reasons, difference between that one and that one. But then you go to the next level and you go, okay, well, this one just cuts too. And this is a, small batch, hard to get. It took me a year to find one of these in stock somewhere. Very expensive Chris Reeve Unums on. It is one of my favorite pocket knives ever of all time. Principally, it does the same thing as this $25 one. So we need to dive into today. If you can get something for 25 bucks, made in China, and it does a thing, why would you ever spend the money on the Chris Reeve Unums on? Why would you ever spend the money on a Carolina Pen Company handmade product? Why would you ever spend the money on a handmade boutique guitar? Why would you ever spend the money on a handmade pickup that looks largely like a regular humbucker that you could buy anywhere? What is the difference? Why would you do this? Some of the stuff surrounding boutique products are intangible. I'm going to try to put a point on them as best I can, but sometimes experiencing them is the only way. But for those of you that have not been able to, or don't want to, or don't feel it's worth it to try to experience this stuff, I totally get it. You know, the basic pocket knife is there for a reason. There's in the dirt bike business, we used to say there's a butt for every seat, right? So there's something for everyone. But for those of us that like this boutique stuff, I'm going to try to explain why it's super important to me. First of all, the whole mass-produced thing is neat. It makes for a consistent product. It makes for an inexpensive product. It makes for something that's attainable to everybody, right? But it's missing something when it comes to the creative side and the inspiring side of what we do as musicians, as guitar players, and as collectors. Instead of building to a price, many times, most of the time, a boutique product will be built to a specification, not a price. We've all heard the term that something's been engineered by an accountant. That's not the way it is most of the time with a boutique product. Usually, the price is set as a result of what is the effort and the design and the thoughtfulness put into that product over time. So it could be quality of materials. It could be the way the product is made by hand or machine or very expensive machine at small scale. Those things all, they factor into the price, but more importantly for you and I to experience on the backside as guitar players, those products have so much thought put into them that they are not built to a price. Therefore, the quality of the product is different. This is because usually if a boutique product is really well executed, it means that every piece of it has been chosen for a reason, right? So we'll talk about pickups here in a minute, but I'm just trying to get this concept out to you, is that each component in a guitar, each component in an amp, each component in a pickup is picked for a reason. Now, on the corporate side of things, on the mass-produced side of things, typically they will do it the opposite direction. A Fender Squier, for example, will be built to a price. Fender will say, I would like to have a Telecaster-ish thing built by Squier in Indonesia or China, and I would like the final product to be $549. All the parts that go into that guitar, then the goal is to make it look and function and sound like a Telecaster with certain features, but also built to a price. So therefore, the choices that they have to make with pickups and materials and such have to have that number in mind. In a truly boutique product, the price doesn't necessarily matter as much as, within what the market will bear, obviously, but as much as what the actual thing is, the quality of the thing, and each component that goes into it. That level of thoughtfulness is something that can't be done in a mass-produced fashion. This means that each component, for example, in a pickup is thoughtfully selected. So over the last 12 years or so, we've been using wire that we've selected on purpose, the brand and the diameters and the coatings and everything that go into it. The base plates, I can't tell you how many times we've bought base plates for humbuckers and thrown them out or sold them on eBay because they just not to the quality that I like. The covers, the screws, the bobbins, the magnets, the wire to hook it up. I've gone through, I can't tell you how many dozens of vendors or dozens of parts from vendors to try to find the right formula for what I'm doing here. The cool part about it is another brand of pickup company may choose a different combination of stuff and it ends up being a different flavor, a different feel, and each of us have like a particular flavor to what we do, and I really, really like that. That's not even including the sound of this stuff. The other thing you got to factor in is exclusivity. This may not be important to you, but it's important to me. I like having something that I feel like I personally selected for my instrument. It makes me feel more creative. I not only have a hand, and you, when you pick a boutique product, not only have a hand in the creativity of the music that you're creating, but the tool that you're using to create it on. So when you grab a guitar like this, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to have something that is one of a kind, that has features that you had a hand in selecting, whether it be certain features, on a build sheet or something built completely bespoke to you based on, on a blank sheet of paper, or anywhere in between. The fact that you are now creating music on something that you had a hand in creating, the actual tool, is different than just going and buying a guitar. Now, I love this guitar. This is my Mike McCready Strat. I absolutely love this guitar, but there's something different about having something that you had a hand in designing yourself. That's what I mean by exclusivity. I don't mean you're better than somebody else. It's the rarest thing in the world or anything like that. I just mean that you personally feel a connection to your instrument because you had a hand in creating part of it. Whether that's just picking a specific color of pickup cover or whatever that's unique, or even getting in touch with the builder, whether it's a guitar builder or a pickup builder or whoever it is, and saying, hey, this custom option, is this something that you can do for me so that it becomes mine? Absolutely. Those are the kinds of things that just make the instrument and the tool feel better. Honestly, what I'd love to do is, instead of me talking about this, I'd like you to get in the comments. If you have ever had anything designed for you or selected for you, for example, I don't care if it's even a guitar. Is it a guitar that you custom ordered? Is it even just some options to just kind of make it uniquely yours? Did you buy some of our pickups, for example, and have them made to your spec? Did you, with various things, I'll show you, pretty neat. What about, did you have a pocket knife or a watch or something custom made for you that was just completely bespoke? Or even as simple as a order sheet car. So let's say you're going to go buy a new car for your family. Instead of picking one off the lot, did you order it specifically? There's just something that connects you to that thing more when you have that feeling. And I really like that. So get in the comments and let me know. So I can't speak for every, obviously, guitar brand, every boutique company, whatever, about what their goals for their company are and how they contribute to guitar culture and to the community, but I'll speak for myself. Here at DylanTalksTone, when we make stuff, there's a few things that I really care about. One, obviously, we have a tone goal with every pickup, and we talk about clarity, we talk about dynamics, we talk about all those things. That's on the technical side, and that's something that we've worked for the last decade to achieve and to be able to replicate reliably. I really, really care about that. On the other side of it, though, I care also about the quality of the product itself and the thoughtfulness that goes into and the intention that goes into the design, why we do it, why we solder where we solder, why we do what we do. All those things are really important. We can make a video about that specifically if you like. But those things are really important to me, and the quality of the products. There's a reason why we don't sell certain products, because I haven't found one that I like or that I could trust to recommend to you. I really, really care about everything that we have here, so that when you get it and you put it in your guitar, everybody makes mistakes, and of course we'll warranty and take care of you. But for the most part, I want you to make sure that you don't have to think about anything. You just put it in the guitar and it just works. I really care about that. And we have a method to get to those results, right? The fun part about being small, it's just me and Brianna working here, is that we can make running changes and we can keep an eye on quality and we can do things different from day to day to make sure that we are continuing an increasing path of quality. Consistent results, increasing quality, increasing, shorter lead times, like all those things. That's something at a boutique company that we have control to do. It's not a big ship to turn. But on the other side of it, to me also, it's about personal identity for each of you. I want to give you an opportunity to have a guitar that you love, that you care about, that you enjoy the sound of, but also when you see it hanging on the wall, it's an individual piece. It's yours, right? So that's why we go to all the lengths that we go to make sure that you have a product that sets you apart. I want to make sure we do that. The quality is underneath, but when it comes to like all this custom stuff, so we have hand flame stuff, we have all these custom acrylics, we have laser etching, we have all this stuff to make it to where this is yours. Yes, I will make sure that you sound good, but I also want you to feel like an individual. I think it's really important. So that's why we do all this custom stuff. Yes, it's not important to everyone. I understand that there's going to be the guy who cares nothing but about the $2 click pen. I get that. I 100% get that. But for those of us that want a little bit more than that, who want a little bit of personal identity associated with what we do, because let's face it, we care about what our guitar tells other people about us, about our art, and how it inspires us. Whether you want to admit that or not is another story and, you know, maybe some therapy, but we all know that our guitar tells us things about each other and about this community, and it's really, really important to do that. One of the things we do here at DylanTalksTone also is, because we make all this custom stuff, we do all these little short drops and, you know, exclusive things and stuff. You actually, if you go to, I'll put the link here on the screen. I guess it'll go right there maybe. And it'll be a link to the Patreon and to our, there's a YouTube subscribe thing down there. And it'll give you access, early access to various short run drops. It's cheap. It's like $5. But, very, you know, short run drops and new ideas and a live running chat on Patreon that will allow you to be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Can we do this kind of fun thing? And give you access to more conversations about how to give you a more custom experience with your instrument. I think it's super important. And so, yeah, check it out. You'll be able to check those things out there. And if not, that's okay. You don't have to. You can go to DylanTalksTone.com and you can look at some of the other custom stuff. We have little drop downs and you can choose various colors for humbuckers, for P90s, for our Enduro pickups, for our humbucker size P90s, even Strat pickups. We do crazy acrylic tops, Telecaster pickups, custom laser etched stuff, custom laser etched products where you can actually upload your own graphic and put it on a backplate for a Telecaster or a Stratocaster, or the control plate for that, or we've got custom engraved knobs. You can custom engrave your own pickup covers, all that kind of stuff to make it yours. I'll make sure that you sound good underneath, but then give you an opportunity to make it yours. Definitely check it out. If none of this is important to you, I understand it. I understand it totally. If you feel like it's just a tool that needs to work in a utilitarian fashion, that's totally fine. But also, if you want to do something more fun, we're here for you. And there's a lot of other brands that do what we do as well. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Let me know, and please contribute to it in the comments how you feel about all this stuff, because I know it's a polarizing subject. Get in the comments, talk about it, check out the links. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next video.